Bill Shorten has declared he is ready to lead the nation and his party is ready to govern during a speech in Penrith to launch Labor's election campaign. With Bob Hawke, Paul Keating and Julia Gillard watching on, he zeroed in on Medicare, claiming this election will be a referendum on its future.
Carrying the hopes of a new generation of Labor's true believers, with party legends Bob Hawke and Paul Keating, and embracing the legacy of former Prime Minister Julia Gillard, Bill Shorten says Malcolm Turnbull is wrong to think he's got this election won.
I say to him, never underestimate Labor. You ain't seen anything yet, has he?
After years of bitter division and constant leadership changes, he says he now leads a united team.
Ready to serve, ready to lead, ready for government.
And says the reason voters should back him is simple.
In one word, Medicare.
Insisting, despite Mr Turnbull's emphatic denials, that the Coalition plans to privatise Medicare using a Productivity Commission report on reforming the government payment system, ordered by Treasurer Scott Morrison, as new evidence, and lauding Bob Hawke as a champion of socialised healthcare.
I realise there is more fight in Bob Hawke's right arm than the whole of Malcolm Turnbull's cabinet put together. Thank you, Bob.
There is no privatisation of Medicare or any part of Medicare.
With his message writ large, putting people first, but not quite enough razzmatazz to divert young daughter Clementine from her games, Bill Shorten's big announcement was on jobs. $20,000 tax breaks for small businesses to take on unemployed aged under 25 and over 55 and women and carers returning to the workforce to create 30,000 jobs a year, part of $2.9 billion in new promises, including funding Sydney's North West to South West rail link, Brisbane's Cross River Rail and Melbourne's Metro Tunnel, which he hopes will help him raise his arms in victory on polling day. Bill Shorten's rallying cry to the party faithful, the promise of a new government built on an old aspiration. A fair go for all.
You need a government on your side, and we will be that government.
There you go.
Malcolm Turnbull with his grandson today.
There you go, Jack. Wow, look at that.
Feeling the effects of a long campaign, battling the flu.
Are you going to make it to the end?
That is very touching.
As Bill Shorten lays out some healthy competition.
And Mark Riley joins me from our newsroom tonight. Mark, clearly Bill Shorten thinks he's onto something with his pro-Medicare message. Is he right?
Yeah, well, Mark, he certainly hopes it becomes the issue that focuses the minds of undecided voters in this final fortnight before polling day. Labor strategists believe Bill Shorten has campaigned strongly and done well to position himself as a credible alternative. But there's one major thing missing from Labor's campaign, and that's a single searing reason for Australians to throw the government out. It's clear Labor believes Medicare could become that reason. Now, Malcolm Turnbull emphatically denies he has any intention of privatising Medicare, but in campaigns, it doesn't matter. What is true isn't as important as what voters are made to believe is true. Convincing them Medicare is under threat is now Labor's defining challenge. Mark?
Mark Riley in Sydney, thank you. In Sydney's outer suburbs, where both leaders were today, it's a fierce battleground. The bellwether electorate of Lindsay and marginal seat of Macarthur. What voters there think will matter more than ever in just 13 days' time.
Forget Canberra, today Western Sydney was at the centre of the political universe.
Politics, as you understand, is about choices.
All the family businesses here, all the mums and dads.
The Prime Minister in the seat of Macarthur that, judging by the latest polls, sits on a knife edge. Both parties after preferences locked 50-50.
It's definitely one thing that would sway me to vote Liberal, because I couldn't stand Labor getting in.
Bill Shorten.
How come?
Because Malcolm Turnbull seems to be all talk.
Labor's national launch party today hosted tellingly in the Liberal-held seat of Lindsay.
This is a region that Labor has taken advantage of for years and years and years.
Fiona Scott isn't worried about the opposition leader being on her turf, the latest polling indicating she needn't be. Currently bucking the national trend and holding her margin 53-47. Here in Western Sydney, both parties are counting on big spending congestion busters being vote winners. Labor today offering $400 million for rail upgrades. The coalition has set aside $4 billion across the region. And with 2 weeks to go, expect more promises and politicians coming your way.
No, I'm sick of it.